Domoro kadiata
boy janno sikes restaurant
sign na ko be ni na dimbal nimba domoro kala janno
domoro seneyata adiyata topotoro fanan kende ma bije luntan during tamala abeka domoro ki janni adi manda wala de te ka we bijele anim fanan ka fadi jang ikono e fa e ka fa minne ko pastry anim bakery iko fanan be kalele badde lomba conference lomba workshop lomba ye fo pendin lo dunia kono domoro betama nyillom international o toda number 1
amanke ba domola jandama
esa domo jang is atariya
wo mu kubandi
sa na ko sa futandin
oto sa na ko be mu CKS restaurant
dafa na janna mu yat ni manje dorom bija
aban
CKS restaurant known for best quality food and customer satisfaction.
In communication, connectivity is everything. We ensure that the links never sleep. Quantities and qualities, all in our data service, providing efficient, reliable voice and data service. We believe if you're not up to speed, then you're going backwards. Communications have to flow as fast as the speed of light. Whatever business you're in, having someone who understands your needs is critical. That is why we just don't offer you technology, we offer you solutions. Enjoy Gamcel's internet broadband anytime, anywhere. Your national operator, Gamcel, Yaibaram.
Alright.
Honey, did you remind him that the last time he sent the money, it was not enough to buy all the provisions?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell him.
Are you guys talking about money transfer to buy provisions?
Yes.
But
Don't you know about Baluwo?
Baluwo? What is Baluwo?
Baluwo is a service that your son can use to send provisions directly to you guys from the shop. And you don't have to worry about the exchange rate.
Tell me how Baluwo works.
It's very simple.
Just log on to baluwo.com and shop, or download the app on your phone. You can shop on the website or using the app to buy online basic products for your family and friends. With Baluwo, you decide what your money is spent on. Your money, your choice. Buy online products for your family and friends in the Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria or Mali. Baluwo, better than sending money.
Are you thinking of owning your dream homes? EGA Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3 or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall.
I, Samba Gajaga.
I, Samba Gajaga.
Man, Samba Gajaga.
Okay, I, Samba Gajaga. Okay, Man, Samba Gajaga.
I, Samba Gajaga.
Man, Samba Gajaga.
Man, Samba Gajaga.
You swear that.
Nge watne.
Ange watne.
I'll speak the truth.
Dega lay wax.
Diga rek lay wax.
The whole truth.
Yep, dega bi rek lay wax.
And nothing but the truth.
Te duma wax dara ludul dega.
Duma wax dara la moy deug.
So help me God.
Yalla na ma Yalla dimbali.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. We didn't get our usual welcome back from the break, as Bishop decided to do an action, which I would not say on public TV. We're ready to proceed with the witness. He's already been sworn in. Good afternoon, Mr. Witness, and welcome to the TRRC.
Jama nga enu serde bi te ñu ngi lay bismillah ci TRRC bi fi tay.
Okay, maa ngi delloo nuyu jërëjëf.
We shall proceed in the Wolof language, as that's the language you opted to use before this commission today.
Mu ne léegi comme yow da nga tànn ne olof ngay làkk ci sa serde bi léegi kon loolu la ñoo
dëgg la.
So in that regard, you will listen to my questions in English, listen to the interpretation in Wolof, before you shall give your answers.
ci biir loolu suñu dooree da nga may déglu pour moom su waxee si laaj su la laajee si angale da ngay déglu ñu lay lapatokate ñu nekk si gannaaw ñoo lay lapatol su ko defee nga tontu.
Baax na.
We've already met and you know my name, but for the record, it's Hadi Dande Jabi.
mu nekk nii gisante nañ ci gannaaw te xam nga ne man maa tudd Hadi Dande Njaay.
Dëgg la.
True.
I shall take you through your testimony before this commission this afternoon.
te man maa waroon a jàppale man maa lay jàppale pour nga joxe sa serde bi si ngoon si nii.
Baax na.
Having looked at your statement, we shall go through the following issues.
mu ne soo seetee si kayit bi moom xam na li ñoo waxtaante mooy.
You will give us your background.
danga ñoo jox sa tur bi.
Which includes your educational background.
pare nga wax ñu tamit sa école bi noo jàngee fan nga dooree.
You will tell us about your work experiences.
liggéey bi tamit ni nga liggéey tamit di nga ñu ko wax fii nii.
You will tell this commission about the duties and responsibilities you hold as an NIA operative.
waaye di nga wax commission bi tamit lu nekkoon sa liggéey bi si NIA foofu te lan moo nekkoon sa maxkam foofu toonu.
Sa liggéey woon ak sa liggéey léegi.
Sa liggéey woon ak sa liggéey léegi.
You shall also tell the commission the panels that were set up in the NIA during the periods of 1994 to January 2017.
nga ñu wax tamit mbootaay buñ taxawoon NIA depuis 1994
till January 2017.
January 2017 di nga ñu wax mbootaay boobu noonu.
You shall also tell us the panels that you were a member of.
ba pare di nga ñu wax mbootaay boo xam ne yow bokk nga si mbootaay boobu noonu.
You shall tell the commission about tortures of persons that happened at the NIA headquarters.
di nga ñu wax tamit métital buñ defoon nit ñi foofu noonu si NIA bi.
You shall tell us who and how these tortures were carried out.
ba pare di nga ñu wax kan moo deful loolu ba pare naka lañ def métitalee nit ñi yooyu noonu.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, I think there's a technicality with Commissioner. He's not getting an interpretation.
Okay, Mandinka. Thanks.
He's not getting the Mandinka interpretation.
It's coming soon, very soon. We are making changes.
Interpretation box, are we ready?
Yeah, we are ready.
Thank you. Then at that point, Mr. Gajaga, you shall be given the opportunity to make any remarks you may have before this commission so that we can enjoy the slogan that we have of never again.
Suñu àggee ci fànn boobu Mr. Gajaga yow tam dinañ la jox yoon pour nga jox ñu sa kaddu bu mujj bi nga wax fii pour li nga xam ne moom mooy suñu wax bi fii pour loolu bu mu amati si réew mi pour ñu mën a taxawal loolu.
Baax na.
Good.
At any point, should you need a break, you may inform me and I shall inform the commissioners to accord you that break.
Waxtu boo soxlee pour ñu may la tuuti nga noppale ko wala nga bëgg a génn nga wax ñu ko dinañ la jox cër boobu.
Baax na.
Are you ready and comfortable to proceed?
Ndax pare nga léegi fu mu nekk nii pour ñu door.
Waaw.
Yes.
Can you tell the commission your names?
Mun nga wax commission bi sa tur ak sa santa.
maa ngi tudd Samba Gajaga.
My name is Samba Gajaga.
Please, can you give the commission your date of birth?
Ban bés nga juddu.
maa ngi juddu 12 December 1964.
I was born on the 12th of December 1964.
Mr. Gajaga, you may sit down comfortably.
Mun nga toog nga dal li gën ci yow li nga xam ne du la sonal.
And you may pull the mic a bit more forward.
Mun nga xëcc microphone bi gën laa jegeñ.
Baax na.
Waaw.
Is that better?
Yes.
Ndax gën na noonu baax na noonu pour yow.
Can you tell the commission where you were born?
Mun nga wax commission bi fan nga juddoo ban dëkk nga juddoo.
maa ngi juddoo Kerr Samba Kala.
I was born in Kerr Samba Kala.
Lower Nyome.
Lower Nyome.
North Bank region.
North Bank region.
Can you give this commission your educational background?
Munga wa commission bi sa xam-xam moy sa janga fan nga doore be fanga mujjé sa xam-xam fu mu tollu.
I ngi jangé suma primary school.
I had my primary school education.
Chairman Kerr by Dam.
Chairman Kerr by Dam.
Lower Nyomi North Bank region.
Lower Nyomi North Bank region.
Can you tell the commission the years?
Munga wa
primary school?
Munga wa commission bi at di nga door ca primary school ba.
1972.
I began in 1972.
And then 1978.
Up till 1978.
Chairman.
I completed a chairman.
Primary.
Chairman primary.
And Berending secondary.
I went to Berending secondary.
Lower Nyomi district, North Bank region.
Lower Nyomi district, North Bank region.
1978.
From 1978.
1982.
Up till 1982.
Berending.
I completed Berending.
Secondary 4 living certificate.
The secondary 4 living certificate.
Can you tell the commission what you did next?
Then Chila joined Gambia Police Force.
That was when I joined the Gambia Police Force.
18 November 1982.
18th November 1982.
When I enrolled in the Gambia Police Force.
That was when I was enrolled at the Gambia Police Force.
Where were you posted?
Fan lañ la yobul pour nga liggéey fa bi nga jëlé police ba paré.
I passed out in 1983 April.
When I passed out in April 1983.
Banjul Police Station.
I was taken to the Banjul
Police Headquarters.
The Banjul Police Headquarters.
As a general duty.
As a general duty officer.
So you acquired training before you were qualified as a police officer?
Jangal nañ la liggéey police bala ñu la jël pour nga door liggéey police.
That's true.
And you just told us that your position was as a general duty officer.
Wax nañu ne fa nga doore yaa ngi doore bunta bi ñoo oyé general duty officer.
That's true.
Did you hold any other positions at the police force?
Ndax yore nga benen maxama ci bunti police bi fofu?
Police the posting beat patrol, posting on guards, beat patrol. I
was there going on beat patrol and on guard. That was what I was doing.
The guard House of Parliament.
And also guarding the House of Parliament, because at the time we were responsible for it.
And other government installations like the Ministry of Justice.
And the other government installations like the Ministry of Justice. The quadrangle. We were usually there on posting.
At this time,
guarding.
Was the PIU unit in existence?
PIU unit.
That was far from being established.
So at that time, it was the police force that were in charge of guarding government buildings.
Police
Yes.
Yes.
In your statement, you stated that at some point you were transferred to the prosecution unit. Is that correct?
bunta bi ñoo prosecution moy fi ñu atté nit ñi ndax lolu lu am la
lolu dégg la prosecution nekk na fa from 1984 up to 1985.
That's true. I was at the prosecution from 1984 to 1985.
Did you receive any training before joining the prosecution unit of the police?
ndax jangal nañ la liggéey bi ni mo démé bala nga dugga ci bunta bobu nga xamné moy prosecution unit.
Prosecution the time bobu ñun ñoo nekkon junior officers ñu daan escort prisoners from joge prosecution dem mile 2 jëli prisoners joge mile 2 indi len for prosecution suñu paré ñu délo len mile 2.
At that time, we were the junior officers at the prosecution. We would take prisoners from prosecution to mile 2 and also take them from mile 2 to the prosecution and return them back.
So you're telling this commission that you were not a prosecutor, is that correct?
But they were teaching us about prosecution on very easy cases. Cases where the individual will come and plead guilty.
Then you janga the brief facts before the magistrate.
And then we will learn the brief facts before the magistrate.
The magistrate will dogal.
before the magistrate passes judgment.
And this was in the year?
Bibang Adlawan?
85, 86, 87.
From 85, 86 to 87.
So you're telling us that you learned and got experience on the job?
That's true.
Can you tell us the next branch that you were moved to in the police force?
In 1987,
special branch unit.
I was moved from the prosecution to the special branch unit.
More on unit bigger and more responsible intelligence units in the police.
That was the unit responsible for intelligence within the police force.
Maneka for 1988.
I was there up till 1988.
And new arm transfer, departmental transfer from police to national security.
And then we had the departmental transfer from police to national security.
Can you tell us the full name of what you're referring to as national security?
National security.
NSS, National Security Service.
That is the NSS, the National Security Service.
How long did you serve in the NSS?
Before NIA.
Nyata agna def si bunta bobu.
And for 1988, the government Yajame take it over 1994.
I was there from 1988 until Yajame took over government in 1994.
And you were just telling the commission that the name then changed from NSS to?
Yangewa commission bi ne waxtu bobu lañ ci wéci turi place bi légui ban tour lañ ko jox?
Ci lañ ko wéci jëlé ko NSS yobbu ko NIA National Intelligence Agency.
That was when the name change took effect from the NSS to NIA, the National Intelligence Agency.
Can you tell this commission the post, the position that you held
now
transformed into NIA?
Munga ñu wax commission bi wéccé tour bi nonu ñu taxawal ko S yow ban place nga yoré won fofu bunti NIA?
Bala mo wéccé ku fekk man ñu ma post ci communication room bi.
Before the name change, I was posted to the communication unit room.
You communicate at other post places outside whenever time when you wara jox xibar wala ñom ñu war ñu jox xibar ñun ñoo nekkon ci communication room.
We communicated with our post outside if we wanted to give them information or if there was any information that they wanted to pass on to us. We were the ones handling the communication unit.
To better understand, can you explain to the commission what type of communication you're referring to?
Munga wa commission bi pour ñu gën ko xam yan façon jokko ngay wani so ne communication.
Moy communication bi nga xamne mo yoré wali liggéey bi NIA.
That is the communication and that entails the work of the NIA.
Bëggé jox xibaar ñi nga xamne ñu ngi sori.
If we wanted to pass information to those people who were far away,
manam ñi nekk Basse wala ñi nekk Gunjur wala ñi nekk other yenen place yi nga xamne ñu ngi sori.
For instance, those that were in Basse or in Gunjur or in other far-flung places.
Wari ñoo jëlé ci suñ kilifa yi.
The information that we got from our seniors,
nañ leen ko pass,
that we will pass it to them.
Wala ñom ñu am lu ñoo pass. Xibaar bu ñoo pass ci office ci headquarter bi ci suñ kilifa ñom ñu jox ñuko.
Or those individuals may have information that they want to pass to our officers, that too will come to us.
Bobu mom daf doon 24 hours round the clock la bu ñuy waccé ñi monté.
And that unit operated for 24 hours in a day, and we changed shifts.
Communication bobu always bo ñu daga fekk ni ci biir.
And in that communication unit, each time you went there, you would always find someone there.
Whether
it's in the night time or in the daytime.
So you're therefore telling this commission that that unit was actually an essential unit of the NIA headquarters.
Yange wan commission bi bunta bu am solo la ci walu liggéey NIA.
Wow.
Yes, indeed.
Can you tell us where the NIA headquarters was situated?
Mun nga ñëw waxtu bobu kër bu mag bi nga xamne moy kër NIA fan la nekkon?
Marina Parade.
It was on Marina Parade.
Dakar Supreme Court.
Facing the Supreme Court.
Justice, no share fence.
And they share fence with the Justice Department, the Justice Ministry.
Thank you. So now going back to the point of where you said that it changed name from NSS to NIA in 1994.
jërëjëf léegi ñu dellu fi nga wax ne tur bi wécceeku na ci 1994 mu jógee ko NSS ñu tuddee ko NIA.
What position were you holding?
Ban place nga yore woon ci bunti NIA?
I've been wécceeku fekk maa ngi communication after me guy take it over.
When the changes took place, I was in communication, and after the takeover,
when children from Algali Commission,
that was when the Algali Commission was established.
You get to, okay.
Sorry, can you tell the commission when the Algali Commission was set up?
Munga commission bi kañ lañ taxawal sorry Algali Commission bi kañ lañ ko taxawal?
Algali Commission bi biñ take over between 94, 95 that.
Soon after they took over, between 94 and 95.
What was the purpose of the commission?
Takeover happened 22nd July 94.
The takeover took place on the 22nd of July 1994.
Algali Commission bi léegi lan la ko waral?
Algali Commission bi li ko waral woon mooy ndo kilifa bi daf ko sos.
The leader established, set up the Algali Commission.
Can you tell this commission who you're referring to as the leader?
Kañ ngay wax noonu soo ne kilifa gi kooku kan la?
Former President Alhaji Yaya Jammeh.
The former President Alhaji Yaya Jammeh.
Jammeh.
You may continue.
Nga continue.
Daf ko sos.
He set it up.
Pour mu gëstu ñi nga xam ne dañ daan evade tax maanaam duñ daan fay naamo.
To look into the issue of those who were evading tax, the payment of tax. At that time, that was rampant here.
Custom officer assistant assets.
They were also looking into the assets of the custom officers. And those were the areas that they were mainly active in.
What position did you hold in the said commission?
Ci bunti commission bobu ban place nga fa yoré won?
Légui ci officer xalé la because amna kuma ron supervise ci Algali Commission bi. At the time I
was amongst the junior officers because I had someone who was supervising me in the Algali Commission and I worked under that person.
Manam operative la on that. Dañ ma digal ne ma demal fele ma dem defal li ma def.
I was an operative. I would be given instructions, go to a particular place and I will go there.
Ma ngon liggéey ci ndigali Paya Ousmane Tamba ak Paya Baji.
I was working under the directive of Pa Ousmane Tamba and Yaya Baji.
Could you tell us the positions they were holding? They said Ousmane Tamba and Yaya.
Tamba bobu ak Ousmane yi nga tudda ni yan place lañ amé won?
No jojo amna Tamba mo do nekk di officer commanding.
At the time I believe Pa Ousmane Tamba was the officer commanding.
Is it correct to say that he was the head of NIA?
Ndax nit mën na wax ne waxtu bobu mo jité won NIA?
No, he was not heading it.
Algali Commission.
But those of us that were attached to the Algali Commission, he was our boss there.
Were the people who had to attend this commission arrested and detained at any point?
Ñi nga xamné ñom ñoo wara uyusi ci Algali Commission bi xana dañ leen jappon tay leen ben bërepp?
Did it?
No.
So then your role was more of an investigator?
Yeah, wow.
Yes.
What position did you hold after the said commission?
Yeah, the commission we jehe.
When the commission finished its assignment,
1996.
In 1996, that was when I was posted to Bara.
What were your responsibilities at Bara?
As a liaison officer.
I was there as a liaison officer.
Continue to tell us where else you were posted.
I was
in Bara up till 1999. And then I was transferred to the airport.
Continue to tell us where else you were transferred.
Airport 1999 up to 2001.
I was at the airport from 1999 up till 2001. And I was transferred to Ndungu Kebe.
Ndungu Kebe moneka for 2003.
I was in Ndungu Kebe up till 2003.
Then sword back headquarters.
And I returned back to the headquarters.
And it is correct to say at this time the headquarters was still in Banjul on Marina Parade.
Yes, up till now, that's where it is to it.
Can you tell the commission what unit you were posted in?
Briefly invest.
I was
investigation unit.
I was posted there briefly to the investigation unit. And I worked under Usman Sow.
So you're telling the commission that at this time you were posted at the investigation unit?
Investigation unit.
And this unit was commonly known as Invest.
Invest.
True.
And you're telling us that at that time the head of Invest was Usman Sow. Is that correct?
That's true.
Can you tell us of any incidents that happened during this period you were there?
Time bima faneka yaguma for just happy ñetti weer la rek.
I was not there for long, between the space of 3 months.
Sheikh Omar Dieng.
At the time, Sheikh Omar Dieng.
Immigration.
He was posted to the immigration department.
Attached panel B, interview passports and other documents.
He was attached to the panel that would do investigations before they issue passports.
And Chila am problem actually Mama Sane is the permanent secretary.
That was when he had a problem with Suleiman Mansare, Sise, who was the permanent secretary. They could not come to terms, and I don't know what the reason was. And that was how I was moved from Invest and asked to go there and replace him.
At the time you were at Invest, for those 3 months, can you tell this commission any names of persons who were arrested and brought to Invest?
No.
At that time, no. At that time, I was not engaged in anything.
Invest.
Because at Invest,
I'm be more engaged mostly.
At the time that it is mostly engaged,
occasions I'm like acquisition of Nakala, coup d'etat or any other such activities. Chila de busy.
Invest is usually busy only when there are issues like accusations of a coup d'etat or things of that nature. That is when it really gets busy.
So during your time, there were no such accusations. Is that what you're telling this
No.
So continue to know what happened, what position you were posted to next.
Immigration 2003 to 2005.
I was at the immigration department from 2003 up till 2005.
You send you Darfur on peacekeeping mission.
And I was deployed to Darfur on a peacekeeping mission.
2005 to 2006.
From 2005 to 2006, 1 year.
But you were still under the agency, even though you were in Darfur.
That's true.
At that time, who was your boss?
While I was in Darfur, it was Daba Marena.
Upon your return?
But even before we returned back,
2006.
In 2006,
we
were in Darfur, and we heard that there was a coup d'etat. We heard that people were being arrested and brought to the NIA.
Can you tell the commission some of the names that you heard were arrested and taken to NIA?
Nga wa commission bi li nga dégga ñan lañ jàppoon seen tur ñi nga xam ne dañ leen jàppa is leen NIA.
Waaw déggoon nañ ñu arrest nañ suma boss Daba Marina.
Yes, I heard that my boss was arrested, Daba Marina.
Alpha Ba.
People like Alpha Ba,
State Guard.
Of the State Guard.
Kerr, State Guard.
People like Kerr from the State Guard. I can remember those and many others.
Apart from them being arrested, did you hear they were being tortured?
Gannaaw jàppa biñ leen jàppa ndax dégg nga ne ñu leen di mettital foofu di leen ticatu.
Waaw ñun liñ dégg ñu ne am na ñu fa doon torture.
Well, what we heard is that there were some who have been tortured.
My boss then dugal ci moto pour escort leen ñu dem fële Georgetown.
And that my boss was boarded onto a vehicle to take them to Georgetown.
Alpha Ba and Corin.
Him and Alpha Ba and Co.
By saying your boss, you're referring to Daba Marina.
So le sa boss moy Daba Marina.
You may continue.
Nga continue.
We heard that the vehicle somersaulted on the highway and all of them escaped.
Did you believe in that story?
No.
No. I did not believe it.
Can you tell this commission what your instinct told you?
Munga wa commission bi sa xalaat lan la la joxon?
Suma xalaat kay li mo jox mom moy ne li ñu wax du dëgg.
Well, my instinct showed me clearly that what they said was not the truth.
And also as an officer?
Te tamit yaa ngi nekk officer ci biir liggéey bi.
As an agent of NIA?
Nga xam ne mu ngi liggéey bunti NIA.
You are aware of some of the procedures that you use to escort so-called detainees, isn't that correct?
Am naa ne xam nga pexe yi ñu leen di jël ak jéego yi ñoo jël su ñoo yóbbu façon nit ñooñu béréb ba béréb lan ak lan lañ dee def seen warugal.
That is true.
So continue to tell this commission why you had the belief that they did not escape.
Léegi wax ñu lu tax nga gëm ne ñii rëccuñu.
Because I personally, I've been escorting prisoners for a long time.
Magistrate court prisoner must not escape small.
And a prisoner once escaped from my custody at the magistrate court. That day I was sweating profusely.
The whole day Banjul.
I looked for him for the whole day in Banjul. His name was Alaji Conte.
I was still on police line, new line.
I was still at the police line, new line. And I will patrol his street the whole night until daybreak, looking for him.
Leave UK.
One day,
prosecutor.
Couple Diba went on leave to the UK. When he returned in those days, he said to me, he told me, I saw your prisoner in the UK. And then I said to him, then that's the end of me.
Charge me, you go file before officer commanding prosecution.
I was charged and my file was taken before the officer commanding prosecution, Usman Ture.
Work for IG.
And he was supposed to forward it onto the IG. But every day that I wake up, I'll be praying until sunset. And God helped me. Just once, at one time, I think there was a particular document that he came back to look for here.
You just my information when Marina Parade, French school.
And I was given information that he was around Marina Parade at the French school.
Pending cases.
At that time, he had some pending cases.
One of my
badge mates, Mam Biram Job, he too was looking for him.
And then, when
they saw him, they just rushed on him and they caught him and they fell into the ditch, the gutter.
The following day, you end the court before magistrate court, before Mrs. Wam.
And the following day, he was brought to the magistrate court before Mrs. Gom.
You sentenced for escaping from lawful custody.
And he was sentenced for escaping from lawful custody.
Sentenced for 6 months.
Sentenced for 6 months. That was what saved me in this case.
When prisoner escape na
But when they tell you that a prisoner has escaped who was boarded onto a vehicle, and they must have handcuffed him, and you say that the vehicle has somersaulted and that individual has escaped. Not just one person that escaped, but all of them. Well, then that escape is one that one can say there are other things involved.
So you're telling this commission?
Nobody can contemplate that or accept it.
So you're telling this commission?
Now,
that when you heard the story, that Daba Marina and others escaped, you couldn't believe it.
No.
And that was due to the fact that you know the procedure that should be used to escort.
Yes.
Can you tell the commission the fears you had at that time?
At the time I was in Darfur, but what I was thinking was that if I had another way or means of escaping to some other place and not return back to the Gambia, I would have done it. Because if such things happen, when you come back, you can get into the whole affair. You've not eaten from it, but still you'll be smeared with the oil. And that is a calamity.
Can you tell this commission what do you think happened to Daba Marina and others?
That's very clear. Even if you haven't gone to Mauritania, you will know that they have dinner at night. If you ask even a kid, when do they have dinner in Ghana, he will tell you it's at night.
Escape means that they've killed them.
So as an officer, knowing the procedures, that's the fear you had, that they had actually been killed and did not escape from custody.
Officer Chibunda Bogu, ak li xew nonu legi yangi am xalaat bi ne ñi reccuñ dañ leen rey.
That's true.
But you had no other option but to come back to Gambia in 2006. Is
Why
that
not?
correct?
Amlo benen yoon amlo benen pexe li nga def da nga am pour del ci biir Gambia fi 2006 ndax lolu.
Yes, that's it.
Can you tell the commission the unit you were posted to upon your return?
Binga delse mun nga wax commission bi ne ban bunte lañ la yobbu won?
Headquarters again. When I returned, I was at the headquarters again.
We're still referring to the NIA headquarters.
But moy kër NIA bi fofu.
And what department or unit were you posted?
Ci ban fana biir NIA nga nekkon?
D3. I was at the place called D3.
Can you tell the commission what the unit of D3 was responsible for?
Munga wa commission bi D3 lanay won sen taxaway.
D3 moy ñi office bi nga xamne
that is the office which
moy gestu soldari
which investigates soldiers
and dissatisfaction wala ñi nga xamne dañ gorontul ci sen biir ñun ñoo leen daan monitor.
There are dissatisfaction and also those members of the army that we are disgruntled, we monitor them.
Those the only
towards government.
And what their thinking was towards the government.
Was that the only responsibility carried out by the D3 unit?
D3 don't def.
Section of D3 moko handle.
Yes, that was handled by the D3.
In your statement, you mentioned that an incident happened with some rebels. Is that correct?
Ci sa kadu buñ binda wax nga ne dafa am li xewon ak ay rebel.
Voilà.
It's true.
Can you tell this commission about that incident?
Mun nga wax commission bi lolu lan la won?
Li mu ngi xew 2006 2007 or 2008.
This happened between 2007 and 8, if I can recall.
Rebel faction.
There was one rebel faction
MFDC.
Called the MFDC.
The MFDC.
MFDC.
Can you tell the Commission the meaning of the MFDC?
MFDC, Mouvement de la Force Démocratique de Casamance. Manam, ñoy laccé yi section la ci rebelle Casamance.
Is a movement for the democratic forces of Casamance, who were a section of the rebels.
At the Jakai side.
And who were based around Jakai.
In the Casamance.
In the Casamance.
So you received information, NIA received information about these said rebels, is that correct? Can you tell the Commission the action that was taken when this information was received?
After Njaka arrest one of them,
we first arrested one of them. I forgot the name, but he had a motorbike.
Who were the officers that arrested this particular gentleman?
He
was arrested by Job, Alajimor. Alajimor and Lamin Dabo, if I have not forgotten.
You may continue.
When they arrested him, that was when they began to get information. All other people who were involved. About the rebels that I'm talking about who are in Jakai, in Casamance.
And then Baneka into two fractions. They divide into two fractions.
They were divided into two factions.
Two fractions.
And these were two factions that were not in good terms. But all of them belonged to the bigger group.
And faction B. The one faction. Senegalese government.
They were working in collaboration with the Senegalese government during the time of Ablaye Wade. But the others were opposed.
So at this point, you received information about rebels?
Wow.
Yes.
One of them was arrested?
Wow. Yes.
How many others were arrested at that point by the NIA?
Up to 7 of them. But those whose names I can remember.
One Abdul Salam Jame.
There was one Abdul Salam Jame. He was the Amarabu.
One custom officer's compound.
He was resident in Brikama, renting in the house of one custom officer.
One Lamin Tiu Sambu.
And one Lamin Tiu Sambu. He was resident in Bakari Sambuya. That was where he had a compound. If he leaves Bakari Sambuya, he would go to Casamas to their camp and return in the evening. And that was what he was doing.
So at this point, you've arrested 7 persons.
That's true.
Can you tell us where they were detained after their arrest?
When they were arrested, they were detained for a day or two within the NIA headquarters while investigations were being conducted.
And after, on a daily basis,
they would be taken to Mile 2
and then
they would taking them there from Mile 2 and bringing them.
At this point, who was the DG of the NIA?
If I can recall, I think it's Modul Lamin Jaju. He was called Mola.
From your statement, you've also indicated that a panel was set up. Is that correct?
Tisa statement bi kaddu yi ñu bind wax nga ne ñu ngi taxawal benn panel mooy ay kilifa yan dajale.
That's
Can you
true.
tell us the members of the panel?
Mun nga ñoo wax ñeneen nekkoon ci biir panel boobu.
I was there personally in that panel. Alaji Mor Job was there. Lamin Dabo was there.
Musa Kinte
Musa Kinte was there.
Lamin Bo Baji from the military.
Lamin Bo Baji from the military.
Numo Kujabi from the police.
Numo Kujabi from the police.
Yes, and I think CID personnel.
I think another CID personnel, but I cannot recall their names.
So you're telling this commission that the panel consisted of members from the police force?
Ñoo ci biir panel boobu am na ñi ci bokk ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi bàyyeekoo police.
From the army?
ñeneen ñoo ngi bàyyeekoo ci bunti soldaar bi army.
And from the NIA headquarters?
ak ñeneen ñi bàyyeekoo NIA ci seen kër gu mag bi.
That's true.
Was this a normal procedure?
Ndax lii mbir yi noonu la daan di demee.
Wow.
Yes.
It was standard that there would usually be a panel set up from different sister forces to the NIA.
mu meloon ne lii jëf la boo xam ne noonu la doon di demee ñuy jël ay nit ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi ci yeneen bunti kaaraange ñu ñëw boole leen.
Wow. Panel yi fa am yëpp noonu la day demee.
Yes, all the panels that were set up, that's the way it was done.
In this panel, was there also a member or an observer from the State House?
ci panel boobu tamit ndax am na kenn koo xam ne wala ñeena ñi nga xam ne State House lañ jógee ñu boole leen ci panel bi pour ñu ñëw seet.
Wow.
Yes.
And was that also a normal practice?
ndax loolu tam daf daan di faral a am.
ñoom ka ñoo ko daan jiite sax.
In fact, they used to head it.
Can you tell us why they would be there? Why would there be a member to observe from the State House?
ndax mun nga ñoo wax lana tax nit ñi leen a jëlee State House ñëw di leen boole ci panel boobu pour ñu ñëw seet.
parce que moo leen lu fa mosaan a xew ci panel bi.
Whatever takes place within the panel.
ñoom ñoo day joxe kàddu yooyu ñoom ñoo day joxe information boobu ci head of state bi.
They would be the ones that would pass the information to the head of state, Yaya Jammeh.
On a daily basis.
There was nothing that was hidden from him as far as what was happening within the panel, and that was on a daily basis.
So,
and they would be there for him.
Just to follow up, why was there the need? Why was there the need for the information to be taken back to Yaya Jammeh?
pour ñu continuer lu tax gars yi di jëlee xibaar foofu pour ñu ko yóbbul Yaya Jammeh.
mbir mi moom mooy borom bi.
He is the one in charge of everything.
Can you explain that better for the commission to understand?
ndax loolu mun nga koo yaatal pour commission bi gën koo xam.
Because so ne rebels from Casamance.
If you talk of rebels from Casamance,
Duga beat Gambia.
Having entry or making an entry into the Gambia. If something funny happens, at that time, he perceived that he was not in good terms with Ablaye Wade. Because there were some Gambian dissidents who were based in Senegal. And he had interest on those people, but he could not reach them. He could not get hold of them. So if you have someone from Senegal coming into your country, engaging in activities that one cannot understand, I think that was what was his interest and the anger he had about the whole issue. And that was why he did not want to miss out on anything. He wanted to make sure that he knew exactly what was going there. And that was why you'll always send someone from State House who would come to the NIA and be there as his personal representative.
Mr. Witness, thank you. I was just going to get to that point again to say that you've indicated that there was always an observer from the State House.
jërëjëf seede bi man doon di dem foofu pour seet ndax waxtu bu nekk dafa am ki jógee State House pour mu ñëw toogal ko foofu ci panel bi.
And that person would be there to be the ears and eyes of Yaya Jammeh. Is that correct?
mu mel ni kooku kii ñëw ci panel bi mooy nekk bët ak noppa pour Yaya Jammeh.
That's true.
Would it be then be correct to say that it's because he gave the instructions in the first place to set up panels and investigate?
mu ngi mel ni daal njëlbeen moo joxe kàddu pour ñu dajale panel boobu pour tamit ñu di ko gëstu.
That is very obvious.
Can you tell us what happened to the persons who were detained when they were brought before the panels?
mun nga ñu wax léegi lanay dal ñi nga xam ne jàpp nañ leen te isi nañ leen ci kanami panel bi.
waaw man de ci panel bi ma fekkee woon de.
Well, the panels that I was present in is the one that I am talking about right now. What I've witnessed, I can speak about it.
Tell the commission.
Because what you were witness to and what you saw, just explain how it happened and how it concluded.
Because the
Wolof proverb says that farming in the dry season, if you want to extend it or lengthen it, you will have to drink a lot of dust. And you will be dirty also. And you will not have the soap that will make you clean.
I think they said, and where will you take the soap from that will clean you?
Yeah, okay.
That's what I said. What you witnessed and what you know, say what you know and what you witnessed.
Common knowledge.
I know that it is common knowledge. That was what operated within the NIA. Whether I was present or not.
Up till this point, you still haven't told us what happened.
I'm coming. Coming. They were interrogated to get something very clear from them. They were beaten mercilessly. They were beaten.
Is it correct to say they were tortured?
That's true.
How were they tortured?
They were beaten.
How were they beaten? Tell this commission.
They were beaten with whips.
On what part of their bodies?
You know, the one that does the beating does not choose what part of the body to beat on. When you are beaten with anger, you just shit.
How long were they beaten for?
It can be up to 5 minutes. The reason why the process did not last that long,
article of evidence
they were able to get an article of evidence from them. A lot of money, a lot of CFA,
brand new notes.
And they were brand new notes.
Almost 1 million or 1.5 million.
About $1 million to 1.5 million.
Euro 1,500 or more.
And 1,500 or more in euros.
Finance department.
I took that money and I handed it over to the finance. For them to keep it for us until the time that they would be going to court.
Mr. Witness.
And 2 motorcycles that were impounded.
As you are aware, it is not an offense to arrest a person. For investigation.
Yes.
Because of an alleged crime. What we're looking at in this commission is about the torture. Whether it was for a minute, half a second, or 5 minutes, it was still torture.
Bena minute la, gena wali second la, gena wali minute la, yep, bena bila rek,
Even if it were 1 second, you have broken the law. That is true.
So can you tell this commission the persons who committed the torture?
Munga wa commission bi, nyana dondi metital gay non.
Alaji Mor.
Alaji Mor.
Lamin Dabo.
Musa Kinte.
He's late now.
He's late now.
He's late. I was there. ARK also was there, but he's late. Why the beating? Normally it was done by Musa Kinte, Lamin Dabo, and Alaji Mor. Bobaji was there, but he was just seated where he.
Bobaji was there, but he sat at this place and did not do anything.
What actions did you take?
Well, for me, I just sympathized with them. I had no means. Because if there's a guy who sat with one individual over there, there is a kind of movement or even a kind of word that you may say. If you are not careful, you may return to your home, but you may not spend the night in your house that day. At that time, I just newly got a wife. I had no children. I had nothing.
You are therefore telling this commission that you did not take any actions to stop the torture that was being carried out in your presence.
Linga commission bine moy bigay don di metital ñoñu yang fa won way defulo dara pour ñu gis na ñu bayilen.
I do not even have that dare in mind to do that.
Apart from the 7 rebels that were arrested and tortured at the NIA headquarters, were there any other persons attached to this particular incident who were arrested?
Gannaaw juroom ñaar ñooñu jàpp noonu isi leen NIA ndax am na ñeneen ñoo xam ne tamit isi nañ leen jàpp na wala ñu jàpp leen isi leen foofu.
Wow.
Yes, if I can recall.
Can you tell the commission their names?
Am na benn soldat bu ñuy wax Sam Kambay.
There was a soldier called Sam Kambay.
Kooku soldat la.
He was a soldier. I think he was in the Farafenye camp. I'm not too sure. I don't remember. There was one of our colleagues called Keba Seka. He too. He was arrested.
In connection, I
think it was in connection with some help that the rebels said that Keba rendered to them.
So is it correct that
Sam Kambay too was accused by the rebels of assisting them in some other area. And that was the reason for their presence there.
So it is correct to say that the said Keba Seka and Sam Kambay were brought before the panel at NIA.
Sam Kambay ak Keba Seka ñu leen isi ci kanami panel bobu fofu ca NIA.
That's true.
Can you tell the commission the treatment they received before the panel?
Mun nga wax commission bi nañ lan lañ leen def fofu biñ leen isé ci kanami panel.
They too were tortured. They were tortured.
In the same manner?
Ci ben anam bi comme niñ def ñalé.
By beating them with a wire?
Yes.
Were they beaten in any other form?
Ndax door nañ leen ci benen anam.
The same manner. They were beaten. The same fashion.
Can you tell us the officers that did the beating?
Mun nga ñoo wax ñana def door bobu ña leen door.
Ñett ñi ma ñaka tuddu rek.
The 3 I mentioned earlier.
And you yourself and Bo Baji again just watched.
Yes.
We had no other means.
Did you say anything to the persons who were being tortured and beaten?
Just to ask them to persevere. And I will not say that in front of the colonel to tell them to bear or to persevere. That was after we went out.
Can you tell us?
Because Kerr, that was why I was with him in the office at the headquarters. The reason why anytime we meet we are able to joke. He used to call me my marabu. And up to today I also call him as my student. If you ask him, up till now, I did not raise my hand to touch him. And that is that cordiality that exists between the two of us.
After the incident, we happened
By two, after the incident, and he was reinstated back into the army.
My boss.
And wherever we met, he will address me as my boss. Because he too, my hand did not touch him, and God knows. Maybe if they should come before this commission, and if you ask them, they will tell you.
Mr. Witness, you were still present in a panel where they were tortured.
Yes.
That's true. I don't deny that.
And it is also common knowledge that torture was rampant at the NIA headquarters. Is that correct? It's also correct that many panels were set up.
There's many. You can't name them all.
In most of the instances, the people that were brought before those panels were tortured in front of panel members.
That's
true.
And no action was taken by any officer to stop any of the tortures that were happening in those panels.
Who has that means?
Is it also correct that a torture room existed at the NIA?
That is investigation.
Can you explain the torture room? As I had explained earlier, we have interpretation going on. So I'm just pleading with you that you wait for them to interpret, then you can give your answer. Thank you.
I want the whole session to...
We shall soon finish.
To go quickly.
But just so that it can be clear on the records, just allow the interpretation, then you give your answers. Thank you. You may continue, Musa.
Yeah, okay, can you repeat the question again?
Can you describe what the torture room was like?
Investigation room.
That was the investigation room. When you go inside,
two office.
You would have two offices on the right. And the whole is where you have the warehouse. And inside there was a metal bed attached to cement on the floor.
So it is correct that it was attached in a way that it would not move around.
Except if it is a bulldozer that can remove it.
So that when people were put on it to be tortured, the bed would not move.
Wow. Yes.
Can you tell us if there was anything else attached to that bed?
ndax mun nga ñoo wax ndax am na leneen loo xam ne ñu ngi ko posé woon ci lal boobu.
No, that was the way it was.
We've received information that it had shackles attached to the sides.
am nañ xibaar ne dafa am ay ceene yoo xam ne ñu ngi leen def ci boor yi pour ceene nit ñi.
ay ceen.
waaw
chains.
ceen yooyu de bàyyi ma ko xel. waaye mën naa am it de.
I did not avert my mind to those chains, but it could be.
Do you know what the color was of the room?
Well, whatever they tell you is there, you can even have more than that in there. Red.
So the room was created in a way that it would cause fear for anybody who was taken in there.
Wow.
Yes.
You've already told the commission that torture was rampant at the NIA headquarters.
That's true.
Can you tell the commission who carried out those tortures?
The one that was giving the directives.
In this commission, we like to hear names.
The commission
that the records can be clear.
The one who was in charge of the country.
Would that be said to be Yaya Jammeh?
Yes. He was the only one who could do that.
Would it be correct to say that he gave the orders for the tortures to be carried out?
Wow. Yes.
But then can you tell the commission the persons who carried out that torture itself?
Well, for the time that I was there, and in the panel that I was a part of,
you're responsible on that particular panel.
Those who were responsible for that particular panel, the tortures that took place there, we were the ones that did them. As for other panels, the things that happened there that I got to hear, but I never saw them, I was never present. You hear something, you know that it has happened, and you'll believe that it has happened. But at the same time, you would not have been able to see it, or you were not even present.
At that particular time.
But at the NIA at that particular time, if they told you that something happens,
100%.
Mark it 100%.
Is it correct that the junglers, those known as the black, had access to the NIA?
Ndax deug la ñu oyé jonglers wala black am nañ loxo pour ñew ci panel bi fofu.
Yes, they were more powerful than us there. Because if you enter into someone's house and you do not even knock before you enter, and you would go in there as you please, and you leave as you please, then it means that person is very confident in whatever they are doing.
So you're confirming that they did carry out tortures at the NIA?
So mu melni ya ngi digal li ne ñom ñu do di def ay metital ci NIA bi fofu.
Dafa am sax.
Yes.
And some of these tortures were done at odd hours in the night and morning.
Metital yoyu yenay ci ay waxtu yu graw lañ ko def moy xaji guddi yenay suba tel ñël.
That is true.
At some point during your testimony, you also mentioned that the rebels were being taken to Mile 2 central prisons. Is that correct?
Amna fena fo wane ci sa wax ci sa kaddu ne amna waxtu bo xamne dañu yobu rebelle mile 2 ndax lu am la.
That's true.
Was there a court order for them to be taken to mile 2?
Ndax atekay bi ñom ñoo joxe kaddu pour ñu yobu len mile 2.
No.
It is therefore correct to say that NIA officers had the authority to carry persons and have them detained at mile 2 central prisons without any court order.
Mu ngi melni kon nit mun na wax ne NIA dañ am doole pour japp ni ñi nga xamne ñi nga xamne ñom ñoo leen japp ñu yobu leen mile 2 denc leen fofu fekk anduta ben kayit bo xamne mu ngi joge ci atekay.
Wow. Yes.
And this procedure was rampant.
Te lolu lu bari la won.
Yes.
And it was done to men and women.
Te goor ak jigen yépp lañ ko daan di def.
Yes, it used to happen.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. Earlier in the testimonies, we had received a testimony from a Muminu Balde.
Bañ doore nit ñi sédé di ñëw di wax fi amna ku ñu oyé Mumini Balde ñëw na wax na fi.
And he had indicated that he was arrested
te wax na fi ne dañ ko jàppoon
in a rebel incident.
Ci mbiri rebelle tax nak ñu jàpp ko.
And that he was tortured before a panel.
Ndax ñu te wax na tamit ne ñu ko métital bu baax ci kanami panel.
Were you aware of this incident?
Ndax yëgoon nga boobu.
Mumini de. As for Mumini, I am not aware of when he was arrested. Because I watched his testimony. He said he was arraigned before the Brikaba Magistrates Court. And this case that I'm talking about, Banjul Magistrate Court. We were the ones that took them to the Banjul Magistrates Court. And that was where their court, that was where they were prosecuted. I tendered the exhibits, the money, the 2 motorcycles, and a bag of charms which they had with them.
If I may correct you, Mr. Witness.
The
said Muminu Balde indicated that he was taken to the Banjul High Court. But he had meant to say the Banjul Magistrate Court. That was his testimony.
Then he made a mistake by saying Brikama.
He indicated that he was taken to Banjul. And he also indicated that it was in the incident of the rebels being arrested and charged. And further indicated that you were a member of the panel and you were part of the persons that hit him during his interrogation.
Then he made a mistake because I did not hit anyone. If I did not beat the others, Sam Kamba and others, I see no reason why I would select him specifically to hit him.
It is our duty to put it before you.
Yes.
It has been received before the commission. And he was very clear with the names that he stated in his testimony. And he indicated that you were one of the persons who hit him.
I can only remember that I hit him. If I had hit him, I would have said so.
Apart from that panel, were you part of any other panel that was set up at the NIA?
No.
Are you still serving at the NIA?
Wow. Yes.
Can you tell us about any other human rights violations that were reported to your office while serving at the NIA?
yeneen yaaxa yele fi doomi adama yi nga xamoon ne amoon nañ bi nga xam ne wax nañ leen ko ci seen office bi foofu ndax di nga mën a wax yooyu
loolu moom xam naa daf daan am toujours ndax
I know that was happening frequently because
gannaaw panel bi ni 2008 2007 2008
after this panel
2008 dama génnaat
in 2007 and 2008 I went out
and
went to Andalai.
I 2008 2009
I was there 2008 2009
to almost 2010
up till almost 2010.
I knew State House briefly.
I came to the State House briefly.
For 8 months later.
I spent 8 months there.
8 months at the State House.
I spent 8 months at the State House. I returned back to Andalai.
2010.
I was in Andalai in 2010.
2012.
Up till 2012.
2012, around December 2012.
Around December 2012.
In January 2013.
Then in January of 2013.
You appointed as acting director general.
I was appointed as the acting director general.
So the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency.
To the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. And I replaced Benjamin.
And for 8 months.
I was there for 8 months.
You redeployed me back to the National Intelligence Agency.
And I was redeployed to the National Intelligence Agency.
At the time?
And posted to Andalai. Subsequently.
At the time when you were at the NDEA, did you have any cases of human rights violations?
No, by the grace of God, I did not have to face any of those situations.
Were people detained beyond the 72 hours limit in the Constitution?
I need 72 hours more open ñetti fan ko comme ni suñu constitution bi nim ko waxé
no
did that apply to the NIA
ndax lolu tam bokk na ci NIA bi
lolu kay mom du fa jëm
that was rampant but what was rampant there.
Thank you very much, Mr. Witness. I have no more questions for you this afternoon. I hand over the witness to the commissioners.
Thank you very much, Emma Council, and thank you, Mr. Gajaga, for your testimony before the Commission.
Jerejef Council, Jerejef Mr. Gajaga, linga nangu pour ñew wax ci kanam commission bi.
What interaction did the Drug Enforcement Agency have with the NIA on a daily or weekly basis? What's the what programs and activities do you coordinate with them essentially?
Lan ngeen seexoo ak waa National Drug Law Enforcement Agency pour yan façon programme moo nekk seen diggante bés bu nekk wala bés bu ay bu nekk li nga xam ne loolu ngeen di doxal seen diggante mooy NIA ak National Drug Law Enforcement Agency.
xam ne kon time bu fa nekk moom am na ñoom rapport because gannaaw ñoom suñu sister service lañ.
While I was there, we had a rapport since they were a sister service.
And then sàkku ci ñoom.
We used to request from them
ndimbal
assistance.
ndax lu kenn man ñaara ko ko dàq.
Because whatever one person can do, two can do better.
ndax foo gis ñu post drug law enforcement officers.
Because wherever you see a drug law enforcement officer posted, you would also find an NIA officer.
We
usually had that rapport at the time, so that if my officers were unable to detect something, those other officers from the other unit would detect it. And they used to assist us on that aspect. All of us, to put it briefly, we are all geared towards national security.
And in your own structure, secretariat structure or service structure, did you have a unit dealing with intelligence? That's not the area or jurisdiction of NIA.
ndax ci seen bunta bi yéen am ngeen fana boo xam ne ñoom ñoo am taxawaay boo xam ne ñoom ñooy doxal xibaar yu xóot yi nga xam ne moom la ñu ooyee intelligence bi nga xam ne boobu bokkeewut ak li nga xam ne mooy NIA bi di doxal.
am nga NDA.
Well, you know the NDEA.
ñaar yëpp la ñoo doxal.
They perform the two functions.
Because plain clothes la.
Because it's a plainclothes institution.
toog ak NIA doo xamee kii bu la kii waxoon ne man maa NIA wala kii ne la man maa drug enforcement officer doo leen mën a ràññee.
If they sit down with an NIA officer, if they don't identify themselves, you would not be able to know who is an NIA officer or who is a drug law enforcement officer.
léegi xibaar yow drug law enforcement officer bi am na xibaar bu la rëcca yow nga xam ne doo ko mën a apprehend at that time.
Sometimes information escapes you, or a suspect escapes you who you cannot apprehend at that particular time.
Pass information pass ko bara.
You could be in Amdalai, but pass on the information to those in Bara. The officers that are there. When the person gets there,
you apprehend, check, you find out from the individual.
They will apprehend the person and find out from that individual.
Intelligence.
You come to see that all of that is intelligence.
I'm not certain operations you have,
but there are some operations where
NDA,
the NDEA, and have some powers.
Anytime break and enter when we suspect
which allows them to break and enter into places if they actually suspect something to be in there,
like drugs.
Why NIA will but the NIA don't have such.
NIA collect intelligence pass.
The NIA are supposed to collect intelligence and pass them to the relevant institutions
for consumption.
For consideration.
For concern police, whether concern drug NDA.
Whether it was something concerning the police or something concerning the drug law enforcement agency. But if you do something which is far and beyond that, you will have what the Wolof will say, my mother sent me. Because each one has something that you are tasked with. But if you go beyond it, you have broken the law.
So the emphasis that last week we were, during the testimonies here, that we were putting on a very clear division in terms of jurisdiction between NIA and the Drug Enforcement Agency, that your suggestion would be that it's not that concrete, it's not that clear. We were saying last week that NIA had absolutely no business dealing with drug enforcement. Would you endorse that?
liñ fi doon di wax bés bu ay bi passé nii ne liggéey NIA ak liggéey drug squad dañ utee ba ñu dem ba ci fànn boo xam ne wax nañ ne NIA amuñ benn yoon pour doxal li nga xam ne mooy liggéey NDEA waaye yow sa kàddu li mu wone mooy ne ñaari mbir yi seen liggéey soriwaate wut dafa mel ni seen liggéey dafa xalal nuroo comme ni ñoo doxalee seen liggéey ndax loolu la mel.
loolu dafa des ci liggéey bi ni mu war a demee.
Depends on how the work should be carried out.
Fekkee ne tey gis naa barab drog nga xam ne man maa fa ses man NIA bi maa fa ses.
If, for instance, today I see I will find drugs at a particular place, and I, being the NIA officer, I am the one at the place, and I know that no drug law enforcement officer is close by, and if I delay in taking action, The thing would be exposed. There and then, I have the power to arrest the individual. But after arresting him and detaining him, that is where I would inform the relevant authorities and tell them, here is your case, so that he will continue with him. That is the way it should be.
Thank you. Commissioners, if you have any questions, then yes, Deputy Chair, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Deputy Lead Counsel, for leading the process. Thank you, Mr. Gajaga.
Kim mo topa ci chairman bi mu ne jërëjëf chairman jërëjëf legal counsel bi ba pare mu ngi laa gërëm yow tam Mr. Gajaga.
My first it's not a question, it's an observation.
Moom lim gis nekkul ne laajte la de waaye lii daf ko gis.
The shackles, they were not chains, they were round circles that were attached to the walls.
Li nga xam ne liñ doon di wax noonu chaîne nekkul ne chaîne la waaye ay weñ la yi nga xam ne dafa la wóor yi nga xam ne dañ leen posé ci maraaj bi.
Did you see them?
Ndax gis nga yooyu.
That's why I'm talking about. These are
Okay, so these were round circular objects that were attacked so that it would facilitate tying the hands or the legs of the person to the wall or in whichever position that you wanted.
Mel ni grillage foo xam ne dinañ fa dugal loxo nit ñu posé ko fa ak fu ñoo dugalee tànk nit ñu posé ko fa pour borom bu mu mën a yëngatu.
Waaw. Yes.
Okay. Now I would like to first of all thank you for your honesty in accepting that you were afraid to stand up and speak out.
Mu ngi laa gërëm li nga wax ne lu affaire yooyu bi ñoo xew da nga ragaloon de pour jóg taxaw pour wax.
How much did the fear factor permeate the services, whether it was the NIA, the police, so that the officers who were entrusted with taking care of the citizenry abdicated their responsibilities with the excuse that they were afraid to stand up and speak out against injustice?
Mbir mi lim demee muy bunti police muy bunti NIA ak yeneen bunti kaaraange yi seen taxawaay lim waroon a doon mooy ñu aar waa réew mi waaye nag dañ mujjee gis ne ñooñu yëpp bàyyi nañ seen liggéey boobu ñu sànni ko ca gannaaw te boo waxee ñu ne dañ ragaloon looloo tax mënuñoo taxaw pour def seen liggéey yooyu ndax mën nga ñu wax loolu lana ko waraloon.
loolu li ko waraloon dëkk bi dafa jaxasoon rek.
The reason was because there was confusion within the country. There was a period where even if you did not eat food, you'll be smeared with the oil. So that you ought to be very careful. Whether you are involved or not, once you are appointed or accused, you are in trouble. That was what happened during the first time. When even if you are included as a member of the panel, and when they are doing whatever they are doing and you did not take part, you'll be perceived as someone who is not loyal to the president. And if you were to be reported, if you should spend the night in your house, then you should be counting yourself as lucky. Do you not know that at that time it was easier for me to sleep during the daytime than during the night?
Because
the fishermen would go during the daytime. But those who fish men would come in the night. So if you sleep, you should know how you sleep. That was why I slept in the daytime and I don't during the night. I used to have my trousers and my shirt on. If you hear a car park, then you should not even have locked your window in the first place. We got to a stage whereby we did not have any means of doing anything. That was the entire reason. That was how the things were at the time. That is why we are praying day before yesterday. It's better than yesterday. But may God make it such a way that today is even much better. Because day before yesterday was during the era of Sadauda. Yesterday was owned by Mr. May God make it that today would be better. And God help us all. Yes.
Does Mr. not have a name?
Mr. Bobu nda amutur. Mr. Bobu nun nda amutur.
Sawai.
Sawai, amutur.
The man. Well, when I say the man, everyone knows.
Thank you.
Jerejef.
Thank you. Yeah, Commissioner Kerr, you have the floor, please.
Thank you. This is just a follow-up comment to the follow-up question to your comment. Because he said if people were doing certain things, for instance, torture, and you didn't torture, you'd be considered disloyal.
Parce que wax nga ne si fekkee ne ñi nekk ci panel bi foofu ñu ngi ticcatu nit te yow bokkuloo ci dañoo ne kon yow nekkuloo koo xam ne yaa ngi toppa ndigali waa ji.
And since you have told this commission that you didn't participate in torture, were you considered disloyal?
Ndax comme que yow bokkuloo ci ñi nga xam ne ñu doon di métital nit ñi ndax yow tam dañ la boole woon ci ay nit ñi nga xam ne bëgguñu woon wala topp ñu woon waa ji.
Man torture mo am na strategy mo doon play.
I did not torture, but there was a strategy that I used to play. When they were beating them, I will be telling the victim, speak the truth. I will get up, take action as if I am going to hit, but in effect, I will not do the hitting. You must make some action. Even if you don't hit, just fun. So that when they see you, they say, well, this guy too is making an effort. But you would know what you know. Yeah.
Thank you, and thanks for your testimony.
Jerejef tamit li nga ñëw garal sa kaddu fi.
Thank you. If there are no further questions, if you have any concluding remarks to make, Mr. Gajaga, please go ahead and do that now.
Léegi Mr. Gajaga yow tam dinañ la jox yoon pour nga garal ay kaddu wax yi nga xam ne moom ngay tëjee sa waxtaan bi.
I greet all present.
Chairman.
Starting from the chairman,
Vice Chairman,
the vice chairperson, and the council. I was thinking she was going to fire me with very difficult questions. I thank her. What I am to say is that we are pleased with this. Because what happened here yesterday, if it has not affected you, it has affected your relative or a friend of your relative. And this country is small. If I am not related to you, if we are not of the same ethnic group, I am married to someone who probably is from the same ethnic group as yours. Or I have given a wife to someone who comes from your ethnic group. So what that means is that so the fact that the distribution of the relatives is what brings the unity. There is no one who will stand and tell me that I have never offended. Or they have never offended me. I think that is something that can be credited only to the messengers of God. But that is here. If that is to happen, and God helps you until you are able to be present in a place such as this one, and they ask you to come and explain what you have done or what has been done to you, then you must praise God a lot. If I told those that you did it to are still surviving up till today, you seek forgiveness from them, so that when they forgive you here, it is better for you to go up there and be lying. If at all you are ashamed to face the individual and own up to what you have done to him or her, but here has afforded you the opportunity. Possibly the individual is sitting down and watching you. You appeal for forgiveness. All of us have been created by God. And God says, if you offend me, ask me forgiveness and I will forgive you. Therefore, a human being, if you have offended him or her and ask for forgiveness, they should be in a position to forgive you. Maybe they will just see you as because of your imperfection or the influence of Satan which made you do such things. But he too, God has given him or her the wisdom to be able to see reason to forgive you. Because today it's you, tomorrow maybe him or her. I have offended him. If he forgives me, he too does not know whether there will come a time when he would offend someone and would have to ask for their forgiveness. So that when he too asks for forgiveness, he would be able to get it. That is why this commission is, I'm very pleased with its establishment. Because this is where someone can pass through. When you are called, you present yourself and say what you have done, and thereafter seek for forgiveness. If the individual sees you seeking for forgiveness, he will know that, well, truly speaking, this individual deserves forgiveness. Thereafter, he will forgive you. And if you meet in the streets, and you say to him or her, you saw me at that place or that day, and if he says to you yes, then you say to the person, well, forgive me. The things I said I did to you, I did. But then forgive me. That is why I am appealing to those that I work with and who are yet to appear before this commission. Anyone that comes here, say what you have done and what happened. What you have seen, what you are witness to, and just say it. You will not come here and be flayed or killed. But if you have the confidence to meet people, if you are afraid of people, and you have the confidence and not afraid of God, what all the things that you have done, people don't know, except if you tell them. But God knows everything that you have done. Before you go there and be arguing with God, just say what you know. Going around, eventually you'll come back to the same position. There are some people who would come here to testify. They will take long coughs. Eventually, they'll come back to where they That's what I said earlier on. Plowing in the dry season, there is a need to extend it. Just say what happened. Commission be content, so that the commission would be pleased. And God would be pleased. And all of you would be saved. Because no one should put you here and taking you in tour in rounds and rounds until the sun sets. And tomorrow you come back again. The next day you come back again. Is that good? That is not good. Just say what happened so that you can continue your assignment and the individual too can go home. Yes. I should go and cross over to Nyomi. I'd have asked them to prepare for me chair. If the ferry leaves me behind, what am I going to do? Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gajaga, for your testimony and for your concluding remarks you just made. This brings us to the end of the proceedings for today. We will resume tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. sharp. Thank you so much. Meeting is adjourned.
Natural beauty, that melanin dripping, we do have stuff for you as well. And when you skincare products like ñu ci ciubi tamit fu ne lañu jaar. In fact sax last commercial biñ defoon waxuñ leen wone dañoo dox ci ay kawar 9A grade rek nak. Wow. We do have bundles as well. Hair si lu ne lañu dox ñun ñu ci rafetal jigéen rek luy taaral jigéen rek. Wow. Bo leen di tukki tamit bëggoon that classic suitcase ñu dañoo dox ci ay Samsonite duñ dee indi any brand of suitcases though other than Samsonite. Comme li ma dee wax rek boo eggee airport diri Samsonite dafa am nuñ laa xoolee. Waaw ngeen ne lan nag waaw skin ci moom la ñu gën a xamee nag skin care products ci moom la ñu gën a xamee ñu ngi dox tamit bentee tamit si ay dàlla man waaye man nag skin care mooy suma specialty xam nga rek jigéen bu sa xar kanam réglé loo def mu jag am nañ Patricia Reiner, Kiwi Eye, the whole range, Lighten Up Gold, Tomatine. I mean, the list can just go on and on and on and on. Lépp loo xam ne rek luy taaral jigéen la ci yooyu rek la ñoo dox. Skincare Plus nag emuñ si Gambia rek ñu ngi United States ñu ngi Gambia fii ba pare bu dee yaa ngi anywhere in Europe mun nañ la ko mail within 3 days rek ñetti fan rek nga jot say diw emuñ si loolu rek dañ laa consult tamit balaa ñu laa jaay diw dinañ def a free consultation pour wax la rek exactly li nga xam ne moo méngoo ak sa kanam dinañ leen wax tamit ne rek am nañ perfumes, you know, fragrances, men's shirts, accessories. We do dresses as well. We do blouses. I mean, we do shoes. Name it, we do them. Skincare Plus 2020 is our year of perfection. Zero task. Fi mu nekk nii réew mi fii kenn waratu fi task kenn waratu fi am problème kanam kenn waratu fi am problème yu picca boo ko amee dafa fekk ne rek ñëwuloo ci place bi fii. Love, love, love like fire. Bring my love, 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 love like fire.
Miss V Designer Outlet is the #1 quality and affordable stop shop for all your needs. Get your evening dresses, suit and ties, office wears for both ladies and gentlemen, beach wears, sport wears, pure leather shoes for men, quality belts, bags, heels for all beautiful ladies, original perfumes, accessories, and a lot more.
medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare,